Hi and welcome back to our 12 days of Christmas DIY gift ideas. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make peppermint bark, which is really easy. It's something that pretty much everyone likes and it's very festive and Christmassy too. So that's what we're going to make today. It's pretty simple, but there are a few things that can kind of go wrong. So we're going to talk about that and how to give you a better chances of success. I'm using chocolate for the base. Semi-sweet is what I'm using. You could also do dark chocolate. You could do milk chocolate, but it probably wouldn't be as good. I would recommend semi-sweet or dark chocolate. And it's pretty important that your chocolate has cocoa butter for the fat and not just like a palm oil or something like that. The chocolate chips have cocoa butter. I could not find any white chocolate chips that did. These white chocolate chips, even though the same brand, they have palm kernel oil. I did it with them and it did work. It's a little more difficult, but ideally you would have both of your chocolates with the same fat. So both with cocoa butter, or I guess both with palm oil, but cocoa butter would be better. So I'm gonna show y'all how to make it work like this. And then also you need peppermint flavor, and you want it an oil-based one, not a water-based one, because if you put water in your chocolate, it's gonna like seize up right away and it won't work at all. So you need an oil-based peppermint flavor. And then I have my peppermint candies. These were all they had. And I personally think the candy canes, even though you crunch them up, look prettier. But you can also use just regular peppermint candies work fine. I've used those on previous batches and it works fine. So that's what we're gonna do today. First thing I'm gonna do is crunch up all my candy canes so they'll be ready. And then we're gonna move over to the stove and make our chocolate. So, you know, there are lots of different ways to do the candy canes. What I'm gonna do is put them in a bag and then use my rolling pin to kind of just pound them up. I tried rolling and it didn't really work that well. You could use a meat mallet. I did that with my last ones I made. So, you know, whatever works for you. Okay, and they don't have to be all super tiny. It's kind of nice to have a variation. And I also didn't have a specific amount. It was just kind of I dumped them in until I thought it looked right. All right, so we have our broken up peppermint pieces ready to go. Okay, but before we go to the stove to melt the chocolate, we need to get our pan ready. So the easiest thing to do is to get a pan and do it upside down with your parchment paper on top of it, because then you don't have anything in your way when you're trying to spread it, your chocolate. So just give me my pan, a piece of parchment paper that'll fit it, and then it is ready for when the chocolate is melted. Okay? So I'm melting 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I have them in a double boiler here. It has water on the bottom. I'm melting it over a medium-low heat. And the really important thing here with doing the chocolate is not to get water in it. So like when you pick up this part out of the pot to go put it on your tray, make sure you don't get any water in your chocolate because it will mess it up. You also, if you don't have a double boiler, you could just put a bowl over a pot. That works as well. So you just want to melt them. You also, if you don't want to melt them this way, you can do them in a bowl or measuring cup in the microwave in 30-second intervals. And just make sure you're stirring them in between so you don't burn the chocolate, because chocolate is very prone to burning. You have to be careful with it. Okay, so I have the melted chocolate. I'm about to pour it on this pan. Remember, be careful and make sure you get all the water off the bottom because you don't want water to get in your chocolate. And don't burn yourself. This thing is really hot, so be careful when you're doing it and try not to burn yourself. And you're gonna have to spread it fairly quickly because it will start getting stiff. So just try to spread it as evenly as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you obviously wouldn't want to have like a big huge glop in one spot. We're gonna go with that. So then I'm just gonna stick this in the refrigerator for 15-20 minutes until this layer gets hard, and then we will melt the white chocolate and spread it on top. While the chocolate is in the refrigerator getting hard, I'm gonna go ahead and melt the white chocolate chips. And I'm doing 16 ounces of white chocolate chips. The reason is because if you do equal amounts, so 12 ounces white chocolate, 12 ounces chocolate, when you spread the white chocolate on top of the hot white chocolate on top of the cold chocolate, it's very hard to get it even and smooth and smeared out before the chocolate underneath starts melting, and then you have like marbled bark, which is not pleasant. So I'm doing a little bit extra of the white chocolate chips to give a little bit of fudge space to get it all spread out and not start melting the chocolate underneath. So we're gonna melt this. And the other thing, I'll show you when we get over there, this chocolate did not melt very well. It kind of got really thick. So what I did, and it worked really well, is I added some coconut oil to it to just give it a little more spreadability. And it did work really well. It bonded to the chocolate, all that good stuff. So I'll show you when we're melting it. Okay, so the white chocolate is melted. I'm gonna add my peppermint flavor. And remember, you need an oil-based peppermint flavor. So I'm gonna do 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. And do 1/4 of a teaspoon of peppermint flavor in the white chocolate layer. Just mix that in. Okay, so chocolate is nice and hard. We're gonna try to quickly spread this white chocolate layer over, and you know, it's definitely not the easiest to deal with since it doesn't melt that great. If you have chocolate that melted good, it's obviously gonna be a lot easier, but it is important to spread it rather quickly because like I said, that chocolate layer wants to start melting. So here we go. It's kind of thick and gloopy. We're gonna do the best we can. Okay, just gonna go with that because you can definitely overwork it and it just gets worse instead of better. So before this completely hardens, we're gonna go ahead and put our pieces on top, our candy cane pieces, and you can do as few or as many as you like. A lot of them looks pretty, but I know some people did say they prefer few on their actual candy because it's so hard when you bite it. So. Okay, and then you just want to kind of lightly press them in a little bit so they'll stay in the chocolate. Ooh, that might have been too much. Okay, and then we're just gonna stick this back in the refrigerator again until it gets hard. Put these pieces back on. So, into the fridge it goes. Okay, this is all set up. It's been in the refrigerator, setting, and it is hard and beautiful, and we're gonna break it all up. And so one thing with the breaking up, if your chocolate tries to separate when you're breaking it, you might have to try some different temperatures. I found it to be easier when it was hard and really cold, but if yours is trying to separate, you might need to let it warm a little bit. So just try some different things if you're having problems with the chocolate and white chocolate wanting to separate. So, and you can either cut it if you want it to be really nice and like squares. You can break it if you want it to be more like rustic, you know, pieces. So. So I hope you enjoyed this DIY Christmas gift idea, and we'll give it a try. Don't forget to go check in the description box. I'll have a link to the printable tag that you can label it with, put on your gift. And also, don't forget to go share this video. There will be a post on Facebook. There will be a post on Instagram under my name, This Lovely Little Farmhouse. So don't forget to go share it, and then come back and comment on this video and let us know where you shared it, that you did share it, and where you shared it to, and that will be entries to enter our giveaway, our drawing for at the end of this 12 days of Christmas DIYs. We're going to do a drawing with a basket full of gifts that we've made, so don't forget to enter for that. We did a whole video about it if you want to go back and look at that video. But that's the peppermint bark, and then check out my mom's channel at Rambling Rose Farmhouse tomorrow. The gift will be on her channel. Don't forget to check it out, and we will see you tomorrow with another gift. Hope you can hear that. I probably need to move the mic over here closer. I can't even tell if there's anything in here that shouldn't be.